Maybe time for something different. Ask your doctor about Nucala.
I spent the last 3 years in an underground bunker.
Oh, so it's real. Do whatever it takes to protect what I've built. It's never just about the bunker.
Welcome back. Savannah's Behind is on the Behind the Table podcast today. You can listen to it on any podcast app. We want you all to have a great day, everyone. Take a little time to enjoy the view. And just remember, you're not in it alone. We're in it together, and we'll get through it. We'll see.
This is ABC 7 News at Noon.
Hello everyone. A second employee from the Woodland Pulp Mill has passed away following a gas release. Good afternoon, I'm Janessa Bishop, filling in for Susan Farley today. Plus, 4 more cases of measles have been reported in Penobscot County, and Central Maine Power customers could see their bills go down. Thank you for joining us this afternoon. We'll have those stories and much more coming up. But first, let's check in with meteorologist Devin Biggs.
Alrighty, happy Wednesday afternoon. We have a small craft advisory posted until Thursday at 7 a.m. We're watching active surf that is presently going on along the coast. On land, we're watching the precipitation getting out of here. So overall, a pretty nice day, just some wind that we're currently dealing with at this moment in time. As we do zoom things out, this area, low pressure getting out of here. We're seeing this large swath of activity, but this will be leaving us alone with the nice day that we're currently seeing. But meanwhile, again, clouds to the north. We're going to see a lot of sunshine and perhaps a few passing clouds. Some clouds and fog in a few spots overnight tonight, but otherwise not looking too bad. And even Thursday, we're going to see a lot of sunshine. Some gusty winds today reaching up to about 20 to 25 miles per hour. We'll keep some of that wind going overnight to around 20 miles per hour, and some of that wind will gradually back off as we head towards your Thursday. So for today, mostly sunny and breezy, highs in the mid-30s, and that northwest wind at around 25 miles per hour. Overnight, 12 degrees, mostly clear. The wind backing off out of the northwest at around 5 miles per hour. Still some higher gusts are not out of the question. The hourly forecast moving forward, here's what we got. We got sunshine the rest of the afternoon, temperatures in the 30s, and then cooling off. Your full 5-day forecast is coming up.
Thank you, Devin. We'll look forward to that. Well, first in the broadcast, a second employee from the Woodland Pulp Mill has passed away following a gas release incident at the mill in Baileyville in late January. The death was confirmed by a mill spokesperson, but the employee's identity was not released. On Tuesday, January 27th, the local fire department says they were called to the mill at around 6:20 p.m. after the workers were overcome by some type of gas. Officials say the gas was contained to the bleach plant at the mill. University of Maine student who was interning at the time, Casey Malcolm, also died following that gas release incident. He was just 20 years old. Last night, the Maine CDC announced 4 additional cases of measles in Penobscot County. That brings the total case count to 5. Our Callie Warren has more on what it means and some advice from the Maine CDC.
This resurgence of vaccine-preventable diseases, including measles, has been ongoing for the last 2 years across the United States.
With 5 measles cases now on the Maine CDC's radar, and all of them in Penobscot County, Director Pateri Va says now is the time to make sure you're vaccinated against measles, mumps, and rubella.
The vaccine is very effective at protecting you. 2 doses, 97% effective. 1 dose, 93% effective. 0 doses, no protection.
Maine's first case of measles since 2019 was announced on February 6th in Penobscot County. The infected person was an adult who was known to visit the Hillview Mini Barns in Etna on January 28th and 29th, and St. Joseph's Hospital's emergency room on February 3rd. Now, 4 more people are known to be infected, all tied back to that same original case.
All 4 cases are unvaccinated.
These new cases do not suggest an outbreak of measles. An outbreak is defined as 3 or more unrelated cases. As of right now, per the CDC, there is no measles outbreak in Maine, though Dr. Va says that doesn't mean folks shouldn't take caution.
It's not without complications, and it's not just another rash, and it's not just another cold. It's that 1 in 5 individuals will get complications from measles, such as pneumonia or swelling of the brain, encephalitis, and it will require hospitalizations as well.
According to Dr. Va, the measles disease presents similarly to the common cold for the first few days of infection, including symptoms of cough, runny nose, red and watery eyes, and a high fever. A rash spreading from the head down typically appears a few days later.
What's really critical here is that you are not infectious when the rash appears. You're actually infectious 4 days before the rash and then 4 days through the rash afterwards.
For more information on measles, vaccination, and precautions, visit this story on our website. Callie Warren reporting for ABC7 and Fox 22 News.
Meanwhile, a trial began yesterday for a man accused of killing his girlfriend's 3-year-old daughter in Edgecombe. Tyler Witham Jordan is charged of depraved indifference murder for the death of Mackenzie Handrahan. Authorities say it was on Christmas morning in 2022 when the child's mother called 911 to report her daughter was cold, stiff, and not breathing. First responders found bruises all over the little girl's body, and medical ruled the cause of death was blunt force trauma and internal injuries. Witham Jordan's first trial ended in a mistrial. His new trial got underway yesterday in Bath. The man that was accused of shooting at and damaging 3 different CMP substation locations made his first court appearance yesterday as well. 54-year-old Thomas Welsh of Fairfield is facing multiple counts of aggravated criminal mischief in connection with the shooting incidents, which Maine State Police say occurred at CMP substations in Windsor, Winslow, and Augusta. Since those are felony charges, no plea was taken by the court during yesterday's proceeding. Prosecutors requested $250,000 cash bail, plus conditions that Welsh should not be allowed to possess dangerous weapons, including firearms, that he submit to random searches for weapons, and that he not be allowed to operate a motor vehicle. Prosecutors say the Windsor and Augusta locations suffered $1 million in damage each, and the results of a search warrant were also concerning.
There were thousands of rounds of ammunition, tactical vest, body armor, helmets, flex cuffs, numerous firearms. And at the scene of the shootings of these 3 different locations were numerous shell casings.
Welsh's defense lawyer reserved their bail argument for a later time and for now consented to the state's request, which was granted by the court. A dispositional conference is now scheduled for June 11th. Meanwhile, it looks like some power bills will be going down this summer. Central Maine Power is proposing rates that could lower bills by about $4 a month on average. It's a temporary decrease as CMP looks at proposing another rate change for next year. The new rates would start in July. The new proposal still requires approval from the Public Utilities Commission. Well, public hearings began in Augusta on Governor Mills' proposed supplemental budget. The governor is pushing for major investments in areas such as health care and addressing affordability. Our Grace Blanchard with more.
The Maine Legislature's Appropriations and Financial Affairs Committee has begun hearing public testimony on Governor Janet Mills' proposed supplemental budget, a roughly $257 million addition to the more than $11 billion biennial budget.
Incredibly important for us to hear from the public about whether they like a proposal, whether they dislike a proposal, whether there's some topic that is wholly missing that they think that we need to address.
Public hearings began Tuesday with members of Maine's health and human services sector addressing the committee, as the governor's budget proposes millions in funding to support the health and welfare of Maine people.
I think what a lot of us are talking about in this building this year is affordability. You know, we're hearing a lot from our constituents about what things cost, the challenges that they're facing in terms of health care and housing.
In her 2026 State of the State address, Governor Mills unveiled her affordability agenda, which she says aims to deliver immediate financial relief and long-term cost stability for Maine people. Republican lawmakers have expressed skepticism regarding the funding sources and allocations in the proposed spending plan, especially the proposal for $300 affordability relief checks.
Our credit rating, if we look at long-term bonds, would be affected by that. So even though the $300 might help some people, the negative impact to the whole state is, huge. And so I would hate to see that happen.
According to the House AFA chair, budget disputes are routine and the process must run its course.
At the end of the day, whatever we pass has to make sure that we're not spending more than the amount of money that we have in terms of resources.
Public hearings on the budget are expected to continue through February 26. In Augusta, Grace Blanchard, ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
Senator Susan Collins is backing a Republican-led bill that opponents fear could make it harder for many people to vote. Last week, the U.S. House passed the Safeguard American Voter Eligibility Act, commonly referred to as the SAVE Act. The bill would require people to provide documented proof of citizenship when registering to vote and show a photo ID to cast ballots in federal races. Senator Collins voiced her support for the bill, saying these steps will ensure only American citizens are voting in our elections.
If we pass the SAVE Act, to me, it will help restore the public's confidence in election results, and that is really vital for our democracy.
Last November, more than 60% of Maine voters rejected a similar proposal. Maine Secretary of State Shanna Bellows fears the SAVE Act could disenfranchise millions of eligible voters by creating additional barriers to participation, noting specifically married women who may have changed their names could be turned away at the polls because of disparities between their birth certificate and current legal names.
Our elections are extraordinarily free, safe, and secure. We have excellent elections here in our state. We don't need folks in Washington telling us how to do things. And unfortunately, this legislation will have the impact of making it harder for people to vote.
The SAVE Act now faces the challenge of passing in the Senate. The Washington County Sheriff has announced he will not seek re-election. Sheriff Barry Curtis has spent more than 4 decades in law enforcement. He started his career with the Maine Warden Service, then moved on to the Maine State Police, where he served for nearly 25 years before retiring in 2010. After a short break, Curtis, who is a Cherryfield native, was elected Washington County Sheriff in 2014. He says leading the sheriff's office has been the highlight of his career.
Being a sheriff is different, and there's a lot of responsibility, but I actually really enjoyed it. I had, probably this is the most fun I've had in a long time. In the last few years, because we ran into a financial problem here in Washington County, which, kind of spoiled a lot of it, but I still really enjoy it.
Curtis says he would have preferred to leave on a high note, but he's confident the next sheriff will continue moving the department forward. Coming up on ABC 7 News at noon, a search for missing skiers is still underway after an avalanche. Don't go away.
Whether you can pinpoint the problem or can't quite put your finger on it, the friendly professionals from Coastal Auto Parts can help point you in the right direction. With Maine's largest network of parts, you can trust your vehicle will have what it needs to get you to the moments that matter most. Because Napa knows the keys to a winning team. With 30 locations in Maine, Coastal Auto Parts helps keep our communities running with quality parts and helpful people. That's Napa know-how. Coastal Auto Parts is owned and operated by a Maine family that cares.
The finest luxury fragrances are now exclusively available on everything you wash. Unstoppable's Unlimited Collection. Add it to your wash and
everything will smell divine.
Luxury laundry scent beads so you can smell unstoppable.
Roto-Rooter has served the greater Bangor area and beyond for 35 years, offering plumbing, hydrojetting, snaking, descaling, video inspection, and grease interceptor cleaning services. For all your residential and commercial clogs, call Roto-Rooter today, 990-1234.
And away go troubles down the drain.
Roto-Rooter. I got hurt by a texting driver and the insurance company is rushing me to settle. I called the twos. He got me $165,000 for my car accident.
22.
The Barkhouse Pet Resort and Spa wishes good luck to Herman High School and all the area basketball teams. Carroll Drugstore, your neighborhood pharmacy in Southwest Harbor, would like to congratulate the MDI basketball teams for making it to the tournament. Go Trojans! Congratulations to all the tourney teams and fans from Bangor Bathrooms by Design, with expert design services for remodeling, renovations, and bathroom installations.
From pop music legends Cyndi Lauper and Broadway's Harvey Fierstein, Kinky Boots, the Tony and Grammy winning feel-good best musical about seizing your destiny and being who you want to be. Be inspired by the Broadway show that has captured hearts around the world. Kinky Boots, March 3rd, Cross Insurance Center. On sale at Ticketmaster.com.
You're watching ABC 7 Bangor.
Iranian President Masoud Pezeshkian says his country is not pursuing... Hold on, we're having a prompter issue. Oh, bear with us real quick. Yep. Sorry, everyone. We are almost there. We're getting it reloaded right now. Okay, there we go. Iranian President Masoud Pezeshkian says his country is not pursuing a nuclear weapon. Pezeshkian making the comment on Monday ahead of talks with the U.S. The Iranian president also saying that he will accept, quote, whatever verification measures the U.S. requires to determine that Iran is not working on a nuclear weapon. Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi met on Tuesday with U.S. Special Envoy Steve Witkoff and President Trump's son-in-law Jared Kushner for negotiations. Following that meeting, he said, quote, there is a clear path forward and the two sides had agreed on guiding principles. The next step is to work on the text for possible agreement, which he said would be more difficult there. Now to the shooting at a high school hockey match in Rhode Island that left 2 people dead. We're hearing from one of the Good Samaritans who helped take the shooter down. ABC's Stephanie Ramos has that story.
My wife and I were there just to enjoy the family day.
This morning, the Good Samaritan who helped stop a gunman during a deadly shooting at a high school hockey game in Pawtucket, Rhode Island, is speaking out.
I was watching the games looking to my left, and in front of me, you heard a bang, bang.
The chaos erupting just after 2:30 Monday afternoon. Players still on the ice as nearly a dozen gunshots were fired. Fans ducking and scrambling for cover.
I remember looking up at the clock, and it was 10 minutes and 12 seconds.
Authorities investigating this video that appears to show the suspect, 56-year-old Robert Dorgan, wearing a white hat, pulling a gun, and moving through the crowd. Moments later, Michael Black is seen rushing in.
As the gun was extended and my wife went running, and as soon as she cleared my sight is when I stood up on the bleachers and I jumped towards the shooter.
Black telling us his finger became lodged in the gun's chamber, preventing it from firing again, but the suspect reached for a second firearm.
I saw panic on his face, and I'm looking at him, and he's got the gun.
Dorgan then used that second gun to kill himself.
Their courage undoubtedly prevented further loss and injury, and we thank them for that.
Investigators say the shooting stemmed from a family dispute, confirming the 2 people killed were Dorgan's ex-wife, Rhonda Dorgan, and his adult son, Aiden Dorgan. Black and his wife were separated in the melee. She had some choice words for him when they were reunited.
It was a typical wife's response that, honey, I'm very proud of you for what you did, but I'm also pissed off at you. It was my wife's loving response. But it was a great hug.
Stephanie Ramos, ABC News, New York.
Meanwhile, officials are still looking for more than a dozen skiers that disappeared yesterday in California. Authorities say a group of 16 skiers reportedly encountered an avalanche in the Castle Peak area of Truckee. They say at least 6 people from the group are still in the avalanche site awaiting rescue, while the other 10 are unaccounted for. Rescuers are making their way to the 6 survivors who have been directed to shelter in place the best they can in these conditions. Officials say there are now 46 emergency first responders actively working on the search. Weather conditions remain highly dangerous. After the break, it's tournament time, but some of the athletes are doing important work off the court. We'll have the details when we return.
At China Walk on Broadway in Bangor, we're serving up your Chinese favorites. Our food is delicious, our staff is friendly, and our service is fast. Open Tuesday through Sunday, call ahead, order online, or just stop by. Enjoy our indoor dining for the full experience, or get takeout that the whole family will enjoy. We'll make sure your cravings are satisfied. China Walk on Broadway in Bangor, where tradition meets flavor.
Don't cry, don't whine. Get yours where I got mine. At BB's Tattoo Company, 262 Moosehead Trail, Newport.
In Minneapolis, innocent citizens gunned down. Here in Maine, ICE agents detaining local law enforcement. And Susan Collins is giving ICE even more power. As head of the committee that controls spending, Collins wrote the bill to increase ICE funding with no restrictions, no restraints, letting masked agents enter homes without warrants, raid churches and classrooms. Tell Susan Collins to stop towing the party line and start holding ICE accountable.
You're driving down the road and out of nowhere, boom! You're hurt in a car accident. When you call the twos, all you have to do is get better while I work to get you paid. I'm your go-to guy.
Call 222-2222.
In the great green woods, there was a fishing line and a red lobster buoy, the sun over the pine. And there were 3 little moose sitting on chairs, and 2 big boots, and a pair of bears, and a little toy boat, and a bowl full of blueberries, and a quiet old loon who was whispering, "Hush, good morning, stars. Good morning, air. Good morning, Maine everywhere. Good morning, Maine. Good morning, sun. Good morning, the light in everyone. Good morning, Maine." Local news, weekdays at 7 a.m.
You know, this time of year, fish fries are super popular. And where I grew up, no fish fry was complete without a really good coleslaw. And since today's the first day of Lent, I thought it'd be nice to share a coleslaw recipe that I know you'll get lots of mileage out of in the weeks ahead. The first thing that any good coleslaw needs is a dressing that will stand up to the cabbage. For that, all we do is mix together some mayonnaise, a bit of milk, sugar, yellow mustard, a splash of vinegar, and a few seasonings. Then we toss that with a package of coleslaw mix and some chopped up green peppers. Now, if you're a purist, you can always shred your own cabbage and grate a carrot or 2. You need about 4 to 5 cups of cabbage for this amount of dressing. And when it comes to coleslaw, it seems like everyone likes to add their own twist. So if you want to add a little diced onion or pineapple, go ahead. Once you try this, you'll realize that all coleslaws aren't created equal, because it has just the right amount of, I guess you could say, everything. I do hope you'll go online and get the recipe for our old-fashioned coleslaw, along with our free e-cookbook that's jam-packed with lots of deli salads that go with practically everything. I'm Howard in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found a crunchier way for you to say, ooh, it's so good.
Meanwhile, the Herman Neighbors Supporting Neighbors Community Food Pantry got a little help from local teens yesterday. Members of the Herman High School girls basketball team lent a helping hand by going through some of the donations the pantry has received, including clothing, home goods, shoes, and more, helping to get all of the pantry stock organized. Pantry Volunteer Director Carol Lackady says the entire nonprofit organization is staffed by just a few volunteers, so the assistance was more than welcome. She says organizing the pantry supplies will make it easier for clients to access what they need.
We just have everything. We're a different food pantry than most, and our food is non-perishable, so it's shelf-stable. And then we have the clothing and the books and the videos and DVDs, all that on top of it.
The pantry is always open to all and accepting volunteers. For more information, you can visit the Neighbors Supporting Neighbors Facebook page. When we return, Devin Biggs has your 5-day forecast.
You're driving down the road and out of nowhere, boom! You're hurt in a car accident. Now you've got expensive medical bills, lost earnings, and you've got to deal with that insurance company. The problems just keep piling up. When you call the twos, I'll handle all of those problems. All you have to do is get better while I work to get you paid. Hurt in a car accident? I'm on top of it. I'm your go-to guy.
Call 222-2222. From pop music legend Cyndi Lauper and Broadway's Harvey Fierstein, Kinky Boots, the Tony and Grammy-winning feel-good best musical about seizing your destiny and being who you want to be. Be inspired by the Broadway show that has captured hearts around the world. Kinky Boots, March 3rd, Cross Insurance Center. On sale at Ticketmaster.com.
They've got the sharpest pencil in town. Have they just sit around that showroom figuring deals and whittling that old pencil down? They know that if you buy once, you're gonna be back. So instead of buying one, you're buying two, and that's a fact. They've got the sharpest pencil in town.
So come on down, neighbor. The coffee pot's on.
Jamar Construction Products in Bangor continues to grow to meet our customers' needs, supplying products for site work contractors, concrete contractors, and survey and safety supplies. We are proud to be the local dealer for Hilti, Valley Blades, U.S. Fabrics, and Euclid Chemical, plus so much more. Stop by and see us at 1270 Hammond Street or give us a call at 907-4491. If you dig it, pour it, plow it, fasten it, lay it, or lift it, Jamar Construction Products can help you.
Now here's your full weather forecast with Devin Biggs.
Alrighty, thank you very much. Your full weather forecast brought to you by Old Town Redemption Center. Now offering a 10% bonus on your returnables and a monthly $100 drawing. Alrighty, here we go. We have a small craft advisory that is up until 7 a.m. Thursday along the coast as we're watching for active surf that is presently going on right now. Wave heights are active at around 5 feet according to the buoys right nearby, and even active farther off towards the north and east according toward the contours. 6 to 13 feet being indicated right now according to the buoys farther out towards sea. So definitely busy out there at this moment in time. Meanwhile, the area low pressure is tracked off to the east. We're still seeing some clouds and a few spots, some precipitation to the north, still trying to get going. But for us, we are going to see a lot of sunshine for the rest of the afternoon. Perhaps a few clouds developing, but this large system that we're seeing from the Dakotas all the way to the northeast in a few spots will be leaving us alone, and it's going to be a nice one out there as we do move forward. Today, again, those clouds to the north, sunshine for us. We'll see a few bits of cloud cover at times, but later on tonight, in general, mostly clear. You may see some clouds or fog at times, but overall, not too bad. Sunshine throughout the day on Thursday. Again, you may see a few passing clouds, and then Thursday night, again, some clouds clouds and fog, but otherwise not looking too bad even as we head towards your Friday. But meanwhile, our average high temperature is at 32 degrees. We'll do mid-30s today, Thursday, and your Friday, upper 20s Saturday, and then mid-30s again as we head towards Sunday and Monday, then lower 30s again as we head towards your Tuesday. So overall, the stretch of temperatures not looking too bad. So overall for today, we have mid-30s under a mostly sunny sky. It will be breezy out there with that northwest wind at around 25 miles per hour. By tonight, 12 degrees, mostly clear. Northwest wind at around 5 miles per hour. Some higher gusts not out of the question. As we move ahead towards tomorrow, we have mid-30s, mostly sunny, northwest wind at around 5 miles per hour. Again, some higher gusts not out of the question. Let's check out your extended forecast brought to you by Old Town Redemption Center. Mid-30s for your Friday under a partly cloudy sky. Snow chances return Saturday as another system approaches with highs in the upper 20s, and then mid-30s for your Sunday under a partly cloudy sky.
Thank you, Devin. Well, a special American flag that will eventually fly above our nation's capital was honored in two Maine communities as part of its nationwide journey. Penobscot County Sheriff Troy Morton and Cumberland County Sheriff Kevin Joyce were among those present. Morton says the National Sheriff's Association partnered with the National Flag Foundation and UPS to bring the special flag, called the Flag Sojourn 250, to Maine. The flag arrived in Maine from California, and yesterday there was a special ceremony in Lubec. Then later yesterday, another ceremony was held in Bucksport. The flag has been transported across the country in honor of America's 250th birthday. Bucksport and Lubec were the only two stops in Maine. The flag will continue to travel across the country until it is raised in D.C. Well, that's all for ABC 7 News at Noon. Thank you for watching. I'm Janessa Bishop. We'll see you this evening on ABC 7 News at 6.
Congratulations to all the teams in the tournament from Steaks and Stuff in Lincoln, your local full-service Sure-Fine supermarket. Good luck to all the teams in the tournament from Collector's Choice Sports Cards in Brewer. We carry sports cards, TCG, and also buy, sell, and trade. Katahdin Federal Credit Union wants to wish the very best to all the teams in the tournament.
You're watching ABC 7 Bangor.
The following is a paid presentation by Nano Hearing Aids, paid for by Hearing at Home, LLC. Are you having trouble hearing your TV or listening to conversations in loud spaces? You are not alone. Millions of Americans suffer from hearing loss every day, and when left untreated, it can significantly impact your quality of life.
I think as my hearing loss has gotten worse, I'm not as engaging as I was before.
Having conversations with my family and my wife especially became a challenge.
He could not hear me anymore, and I had to repeat myself constantly.
It was getting to a point where it was problematic.
You know, it's frustrating when you're not able to communicate with someone and be totally in tune with what they've got going on.
Hearing loss can affect your quality of life, your relationships, and your overall health. As a result, when people ignore the problem, they may experience cognitive decline and isolation, which could impact your mental health and strain your relationships with the people you love.
People tend to be